So you've got Darkseer still. You've got Underlord available in terms of offlaners.
I think Dark is probably
still
better than Pango. How's Pango been completely avoided so far? That's interesting. I just think Darts is so good as well because you can this Iron Shell just empowers the Ember so much more in these early game team fights. Makes the hero so much stronger.
Even handing out Surge to like the OD too.
Yeah, and there's the catch that they were missing on Vici. That puck ban's really nice. And obviously they play that very well on Vici. Or he's a good puck player.
Very good puck player.
Is he the best puck player at the moment?
In China,
in the world?
I don't know about in the world. I'd have to see a couple more puck games from everybody. It's just specific heroes like that where, I mean, we see the puck a good amount, but there were times where puck was like super popular. And yeah, there's that Pangolier. I'm surprised. I thought they would ban the Pangolier because that's what they did last time with the Medusa.
They did. Okay.
And it is Ori on the Medusa. So I was wondering if they were going to swap, and they did.
I think that's fine, though, honestly. And then this Monkey King should have a free lane in the safe lane. You'd assume. Unless they put the Monkey King mid still up against the OD, but that doesn't sound great. I think you only put the Monkey King mid against OD if you have a support that can rotate in and offer kill potential. Otherwise, because the thing is, even if Ori has a bad lane on this Medusa mid, he can just go back to the jungle anyway. And just farm up that medium camp on the Radiant side.
So Paparazzi on the Monkey King, DY on that 5 position Abaddon, which is basically just a miscoil. I mean, obviously not, but you know, you have the miscoil of the Aphotic Shield, Nature's Prophet in the offlane, Ori on the Medusa, Fade on the Venge, and then for EHOME, Zhao 8, which
He's playing the OD though.
And Ferrari's playing the Mid-Kunkka.
That's interesting. So I think they've realised that their best hero that lanes up against the Monkey King is this OD. So they've just given it to Jin Q because he does weird things like this, didn't he? Where like he played these weirder offlaners that tended to be more like mid heroes for Serenity. Is that right?
They did do
like
that.
He had to play things like Marana and things like at TI, I remember, which wasn't, you know, completely weird, but he tends to be more of like a core player than an offlane, like a position 1 or a 2. I feel like that's his playstyle, at least whenever I watch him anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Wholeheartedly.
Oh, everyone DC'd.
Yeah. Wonder if that's going to be a remake. Because there's no pause.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a remake.
Vici and EHOME game will be rehosted after draft. Casters, please enter the new lobby after draft. Okay. So we'll be right back. Just give us a second. I'm going to go to standby really quickly. Still talk about the game and the draft and everything. But, you know, just hiding lobby details. Me and Mo have definitely been a part of seeing lobby details go out. If you remember that game in the summer.
It was very funny.
Where is the lobby?
I've got it.
Oh, it's probably an all pick. Yeah, I only had captain's draft up. Thank you. But what do you think with the way they did? You think they picked that way just because they knew they weren't playing it? Maybe.
What do you mean? Because they weren't playing it?
Because it's getting remade anyway, so they just picked heroes. Because do the picks lock in? Like, do you have to go back? Does Jin-Q have to go back to that OD?
Yeah. They would have picked their heroes before they remade the lobby.
Well, I think they knew they were remaking the lobby before that. I'm not sure.
Even so, I think... yeah, maybe, actually. I don't know. That's a good point. Maybe it's like next level mind games. Who knows?
Mind games. Playing those mind games together. Name that artist, if you can.
I have no idea. No idea.
All right, here we go. We're loading in, guys. Don't worry.
All
all pick. What is this tournament? Let's switch.
Monkey
King. Oh man, Monkey King for paparazzi. So yeah, let's see.
Oh, I've frozen. Oh, come on, don't do this to me. Please. Okay, you know, it's working again. Okay.
All right. Ferrari did pick the Kunkka, ends on the Ember, Lich Innocence. So Jinkyu or Zhao 8 on the OD. Yeah, Jinkyu on the OD. So they are going to hold the picks. Okay.
This is really, is it going through and doing the animation for all the heroes for you one by one?
Yes.
Yeah, that's so frustrating.
Because they're all getting picked.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I honestly like this Shinkyu OD though. If they can lane it up against the Monkey King at least, but so I think it's going to be really important. The supports on either side like make really early rotations to try and scout out where the lanes are going to be.
Are you loading in?
I am. This is interesting.
Yeah.
It's just finishing loading.
Loading in.
Oh, the game was paused for some reason. That's why. I think. Yeah, there you go.
Aha! We're good. Cool. Awesome. That was quick. Sometimes that turnaround takes a little bit longer than it should.
Okay, so there's some next level plays from Vici going on at the moment where they know that. Oh no, not Calais again.
It's a one-off.
No.
It's a one-off. Don't stop. No, I'm not.
B-Cop.
Don't.
It's your worst enemy.
I have someone to talk to this time. It's way better than me just rambling for 3 hours. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. My mind is at ease. Shopping, hi.
I really wish I could speak Mandarin. Like, know what was going on. It's such a difficult language to learn.
I have it for Rosetta Stone. I just have to commit to sitting down and learning, which is my kryptonite.
I tried to learn French when I was younger, and I was awful. So I think learning Mandarin is probably a step too far in the wrong direction for me.
Yeah, I took French for like 8 years. It hasn't really settled in my brain, you know? Like, I knew French, and then I didn't. But also, the last 2 years of French in high school, my teacher retired, and, like, they never got a replacement. So they were like, you could stay in French, but it's going to be a substitute teacher every day, and they may not all know French. And then it's like, oh, cool, free class.
Thanks,
great.
Guys.
Yeah. I know a little, because there's two different, it's, because there's Canadian French, which is Quebecois, and the standard French in France, obviously.
The French.
Yeah, the real French, which a bunch of my friends from Canada would get upset about me saying, but it's okay.
See, I didn't realise Canadian French was a different thing. That's interesting.
It's in Quebecois. Did I not change the overlay? No, I did. Okay. That's really nice. So, I know some bad words in Quebecois. French.
Yeah, I know. I worked at summer camp before, and they taught me lots of different words in different languages that were interesting.
You never know to say them or not, because you never know if they're true. It's like, oh, this is a bad word, and it's like, is it though? It's like
they were like 12, so they could have been having me on.
That curse word, you remember? Omelette du fromage. How could you say that? You got me. You got me.
Oh, Bigo, I really hope there isn't lag this game.
We're doing well. We're feeling real well right now.
It was actually the worst. Like, I was tilted for you when I was watching your cast last time, and I wasn't even in the game. Like, it was just getting paused every 5 seconds or whatever it was.
Yeah. It was bad. It's 3 hours. I try to forget. Oh,
I think it was it just the Kunkka that was lagging? Just Ferrari, maybe?
I hope so. I think we're good to go. We
still I was going to say, Vici is making some next level plays, by the way. The Dusa has a shared tango, and Monkey King has shared tangos. So I think they realised that this OD is probably going to want to be playing the offlane against the Monkey King, so they just shove the Monkey King mid instead, up against the Kunkka. And so they want to really get this Dusa up against the OD matchup.
Where's the OD?
This is really smart from Dusa, actually. Do you see what she's doing? She knows
That they put
the
a ward
EHOME are
mid.
going to have a ward mid. So
Yeah.
she has a shared tango and she just walks past the ward and then just disappears again. That's really interesting.
Playing those mind games.
Oh, and this... I mean, this
That's
matchup's even
literally what
better.
they're
Like,
doing.
if they can get the Deucer against the Ember, the Monkey King against the Kunkka, and the Nature's Prophet against the Odie, that would be the perfect scenario. But unfortunately, Yang's decided to show before the lanes have arrived. So now Odie just walks all the way to top lane. And Ember's going to walk all the way to bot lane.
Ooh, but the Venge it spots the Ember going bottom with that Wave of Terror.
I think it's fine, though, honestly. If this Deucer lane's up against the OD, it's not the end of the world, so... And look what this Abaddon's like DY's doing up in the top lane. He's like, okay, you can block creeps, but I'm just going to throw miscoils at you then. This is fine with me.
He's just become a miscannon. That's all he does.
I despise playing against this hero. Like, you see what you say, you just buy 2 clarities and 6 tangos, and you just sit in lane and miscoil people over and over again.
And then
It's
if
so
you can, you
frustrating,
sacrifice yourself to the tier 2.
But you see, they really want to put the OD against the Monkey King. So Jinky's moving over towards the mid lane at the moment.
They've got Zhao 8 and Ferrari here too.
Yeah.
3
and
heroes
so
kind of mixing up.
Kunkka's going to move over to the top lane instead. Don't worry, DY is here to throw out more miscoils at people that make the journey.
Yeah, you're going to pay for the journey, that's for sure. Does Paparazzi change lanes after this creep wave's gone?
I think he'll just put up with it, but it's possible.
He does have a little bit of an XP advantage, but nothing too nuts.
He's about a whole level ahead at the moment on Paparazzi, so he should be fine. Xingqiu didn't get any XP in the top lane before he left.
Yeah, wow, he's actually way far ahead, but Ori comes over, Paparazzi will head over towards top. That leaves DY by himself, but he's okay getting a little bit of experience, get that level 2, going to the Aphotic Shield. Because you don't even take Curse of Avernus, right? You leave that, you go 4-4-0-1, or 0-2.
I've seen some people take a value point in the Curse early on. It depends which heroes you're against, but yeah, I think he will just go for the 4-4-0 this game. He's like full on like utility and support. So gets the nice last hit on the neutral with the miscoil as well.
Arcane Rune bottom.
Can I just say, I feel like a year or so ago, I watched a lot of Vici replays where it felt like DY would just give up first blood every single game. Like he wasn't playing very well, it felt like. But over the last year or so, he's come on so much. Like he's improved so much as a player, it feels like.
So Xingqiu, he'll come over towards top. And DY, you might get your wish, Mo. He might be first blood, but he's got the Aphotic Shield. That'll eventually pop.
He has stick charges as well.
By himself because Medusa's coming back over towards top and they've
Shields
rotated, and he will get the deny. So they won't even get the satisfaction of first blood.
Look at it. I love how it's just musical lanes constantly here. Oh, this is the one lane we haven't looked at.
Yeah, bottom.
There's
End.
another stun from Venge.
Ooh, nice sleight of fist. But he still might be dead. Yeah, Yang gets the double kill.
That must feel so sad that you can dodge a Venge stun with sleight of fist, but you still end up dying. It's very, very sad. DY, there's so much lane switching going on here because I really want the Monkey King up against the Kunkka. Like, you see the Kunkka's now hanging around jungling just because he's waiting to see where the Monkey King shows up. Because he understands that he just can't lane up against the Monkey King. Like, it's just not a matchup. Maybe everybody should just jungle.
Let's see.
How is Yang doing in the bot lane?
He got that double kill.
With that double. The thing is, as well, it's not just the double kill. He has 9 denies as well. And I want to point out something he just did. When you play this Nature's Prophet, you don't have to buy so much regen at the beginning, which is why you see a lot of people pick up the Blightstone. He just TP's back to base and then just TP's back to lane again. Oh,
Oh, the magic missile still hits.
I think he messed up that sleight of fist a little bit there. I think he did it on not enough units. Oh, Zhao 8 top lane as well.
Paparazzi able to get the kill. This
game's...
is very much in favor of Vici already. Oh my god.
This game's going from bad to worse real quick. It's not great.
It's because they're forcing EHOME to get the matchups they want.
They're going to go on
but
Shin
Vici, they're happy with most of these matchups. So the movement is putting them behind an experience as Innocence. Magic Missile comes out from Fade. Another kill there. Xiao did get Ori, though, and that was mid.
But this is what we talked about, like in the draft, that they have this catch in the mid lane now, where if you have support rotations coming in with the Kunkka, there's really good kill potential. Even if it's just a Pango. Like, he has the Orb of Venom slow, which is really nice. It just feels like this Nature's Prophet's going to take over the game at the moment, like with the start he's had. He's top of the CS chart and he's 3-0. He's having an amazing time.
Look at the experience difference, too. Like, this early, when the experience isn't much, it is a big spread.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Jinkyu's... Jeez.
Getting chased out of the lane.
I was going to say as well, DY actually did take a value point in the Curse of the Avernus this game, which is really interesting. I'm not really sure what value it offers here. The silence is nice versus heroes like the Ember and the OD, but realistically, when do you ever get 4 hits off on an Abaddon? Maybe it's just because he feels like he has chase potential with the Monkey King, but like the slow is, even though it's only 10%, it's still pretty nice.
Well, try for Yang, but here comes Fade. Magic Missile, there's the Sleight of Fist that works out. Avoiding the Magic Missile, they'll bring over DY to keep Yang safe. I think they're thinking about throwing another stun, but back towards their tower and really making it hard for Vici to take advantage. But still, at the same time, you know, this chase is happening. These rotations are going out. It's a 3,000 net worth lead 6 minutes into the game for Vici.
How is Yang level 4 already on this bench? Is it just the kills? Like, he's so...
He's 1-0-3.
He's so highly leveled. They're going on this OD top as well. Like, look at this path that Fade's taking here.
Coming all the way around.
Already used.
Boundless Strike comes through. There's the Magic Missile. And then the Jingu procs. Paparazzi one more smack. And getting a very easy kill.
God, I'm such a good observer. My God.
I might have you start streaming.
Oh, they go mid as well, too. See, I'm so good at this.
Ori, he gets hit by the Torrent, but here comes Yang. He'll protect his Medusa. Xiao Wei taking a lot of damage. The Treant's trying to body block, but he ends up going south. He would need somebody to TP over to the shrine, and nobody will be there in time.
Top lane as well. They're going on the Monkey King. Oh, well, they used the imprisonment at the same time as the Frost Shield. That's a little bit of a misplay. I think they might have been able to kill him otherwise. But
DY getting solo experience again over bottom.
Man, when did you ever see this from Vici? DY just getting solo XP in a lane at the first 10 minutes.
And not feeding first.
They're 4k up already. Like, if you look at the CS charts on the Ember and the OD are basically getting absolutely nothing. Like, Ember has 17 CS in 8 minutes. How is he supposed to lane down here up against the Nature's Prophet? And this is the lanes that they chose, remember, as well. Like, they moved the OD to top lane.
But all that movement putting him multiple levels behind. And they'll look for the spring. Innocence. Magic Missile comes through onto the OD. One more shot will get the Jingu to proc. They'll bring DY over with Yang. Boundless Strike comes through. Innocence the second to die. And he showed up to this fight, but I don't know if he wants to be here. Xiao 8 will die. Double kill for Yang. And has to turn around as they lose 3 heroes.
What? Why is Cook here?
Why are you here, Ferrari? Magic Missile, and you're just dead. Why have you showed up? And?
I'll be honest. I'm watching this game and I'm a little bit tilted. I dread to think what they're like. This is this is something.
Well, everything is something.
I am flabbergasted, to be honest.
Oh,
I'm a little bit scared to change over to net worth.
He just
I feel like this Ember might just not be a hero. Can you do it before me and check?
Don't switch.
Just like,
don't switch.
Just
don't switch. Ooh, top Yang.
Could I guess it? Is he like?
Might get the kill. Silence. Yang still alive. If he gets out of this. Okay, Ferrari.
Okay, that's a lot of gold for the Kunkka. That's that's 560 gold.
All right. Price is Right rules. Ember Spirit's net worth. If you go over,
I'm
you
gonna
lose.
go. Are we going the net worth or are we going the value? I was gonna say where he was in the chart, but we'll go net worth. I reckon 1,800.
You're over.
I'm over.
Yes.
I'm changing. Jesus, he's. Do you know what the best bit is? It's not even like he's leveled either. Like he's level 4 at 10 minutes into the game.
They've got the Sinister Gaze, but still the damage is lacking, and nobody coming to help Paparazzi. He's almost safe, trying to get away.
There's no way he gets out.
Swashbuckle, missing into the trees. He just doesn't have tree dance quickly enough.
If I was a Vici player, if I was an EHOME player there and Paparazzi had got out, I would have probably just called GG and left the game. That would have been the end for me.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The thing is as well, like, Yang's having this amazing game on Nature's Prophet, but there's still this problem of this free farming Dusa in the mid lane. Like, she's just going to go back to the jungle. She's going to get whatever she wants from this game, it feels like. Oh, bot lane as well. Oh, no, okay. I thought it was kicking off again.
Where you got the mid tier 1? It might be. Swap. Magic Missile. Out of the Astral Imprisonment. Paparazzi 3. Pops the Jingu. Now just needs 2 more shots to kill Jing Q and we'll get it.
Okay, so. Pango's hit level 6. So at least they have the Rolling Thunder now. And he also has a Javelin as well. So the damage output from EHOME in these fights or like skirmishes are going to be much higher now. This Pango's actually a hero, it feels like. He can clear creep waves if he wants to up against this Nature's Prophet, which you see is what he's doing up there. But like, someone has to make space for this Ember and OD to come back into the game. Because at the moment, they are just not heroes.
They're so far behind. What's the experience difference, too? It's about 4,000. That's so much experience this early in the game. Could you imagine if you silenced the tower, it just couldn't shoot anymore?
I'm pretty sure that when it first came out, there was a bug that it used to disable backdoor, which was really interesting. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that was what happened. It made for some really interesting games.
Let's see if they find anybody Ferraris here in the jungle by this shrine. And regen top, they'll find Zhao 8. He's in trouble. Shield crash, magic missile, boundless strike will hit on the Zhao 8, and there's no getting away from it.
This Venge is such a nice pick this game as well with the Wave of Terror. Like, it amps up so much of the physical damage from the... Well, all their cores, really. The Monkey King and the Medusa mainly, though. And it's going to give them such good Roche taking potential as well. Like this Nature's Prophet and the Venge. And here we go. Back to the Ancients for Vici.
In the Wukong, so let's see if they can kill Paparazzi. Yang comes in. Chain Frost laid down. DUI's here. And we'll get this Chain Frost to bounce around, but it won't be enough. The Balance Strike comes out. Yang ends up dying to the Chain Frost. And now the Rolling Thunder comes through. Ferrari on the run. Sanities comes in. Yang, DUI, and Fade are knocked out. They lose Ori for dead, looking for Paparazzi. And he is already gone.
To be fair, EHOME have very good team fight. There's something I actually haven't really looked at. I didn't think about it at all, but they have some very good spells in 5-on-5 engagements, which Vici do not. You know, they have this Chain Frost, they have Ghost Ship, they have Rolling Thunder, they have Sanities as well. So when these big team fights do break out, they have, you know, they have the spells to be able to win them, even if they are far behind. There's lots of AoE damage.
Fist Searing Chains. They got the kill on Ori, who's been continuing to farm, looking for the Manta Style. And he's sitting about 800 gold ahead, but taking a look top. They've got the silence onto this OD. Yeah, that is an early Orchid for this Nature's Prophet. Jing Q, there's nothing you can do. And he has no way out of the Sprout until he gets this Force Staff.
It feels like anybody apart from maybe the Kunk who gets to Orchid is just dead at this point. He's gone Halberd first on the Kunk as well. Obviously really good against all 3 of the cores on Vici's side. Maybe lacking a little bit in damage. It's a bit of a defensive item build, but I guess when he has Ember OD as his other cores, you know, it's their job more to be able to output the damage. So hopefully they can catch back up again. Because it still feels like this Ember isn't a hero.
This Ember, what does he have at the moment? He's going into Yule's. BKB for the Kunkka.
The thing is, though, like we talked about it in the start of the game, they don't have great catch on Vici's side. So if he goes for this Yule's first on the Ember, any way he's dying at the moment would be the Orchid from the Nature's Prophet. So with the Yule's, he can just negate that and then just jump back to his Spirit again.
Oh, they find Jingu again. All they need is the stun with the balanced strike. Dude, the second Jingu procs, you're just taking too much damage.
He's got Ico Saber coming on the courier now on Monkey King as well. So going to be able to help output his damage. Find these nice little pickoffs over and over again. I really would like to see them put more aggressive vision down on Vici. I don't really see anything on the map at the moment. Do they have, how many wards do they have available? I haven't been seeing, but maybe EHOME have been dewarding them a lot.
Yang and Fade still up here top with this Orchid going into a BKB next for Yang.
There's an Invis rune on the Kunkka.
Ferrari. He spots Fade.
I'm not sure if Fade knows he's there though with the body blocks.
I just think he knows he's dead anyway. He tried to TP out, but there was no chance that was ever going to go through.
He tried to walk out as well, but he was getting body blocked, so he was just stuck where he was. And he was like, oh god, I better TP then.
This is so still. It's starting to stabilize a little bit for EHOME. It's been 6K for a while.
That fight mid, I think Vici have realised that they can't take these 5-on-5 engagements. Like you saw what happened in the mid fight. So they're basically just saying, okay, we'll get pickoffs wherever we can, but we'll just farm this Deucer up. Like we're quite happy to just keep her going. You know, try and play around our timing when we get some more items.
Gets caught by End, and they had the Rolling Thunder. They'll look for Paparazzi, jumping through these trees. But again, how far are you willing to chase?
Yeah, the only person that can really cut those trees down is the Ember with the Remnants, like quickly at least. So, unfortunately, didn't have any mana, didn't have any Remnant charges anyway. Used them all before. That's a Manta first on the dude. I mean, normally I would be very against this, but he is up against the Pango with the disarm and the silence from the lucky shot. So, you really want to be able to purge that one.
Almost with the BKB on Yang.
I love what Fade's doing here on bench. He's just following this Deuce around, just amping up her farm speed. Like he's stacking camps for her by attacking one camp and wave of terroring the other as well, just to be more efficient. And yeah, they've now maxed out this wave of terror first, which I really like. And I really hope they look to try and take this Roche at some point soon. It is really difficult to take Roche against EHOME, so they might need to get a pick off before.
Swap that comes in, and they get the kill on Innocence. Just find him on the high ground.
Pick off. That would be it.
And they might even find Jinkyu too, with a 4-staff away, but he still has to be careful. Nature's Prophet moving him forward, but doesn't get him on the right trees.
I'm really surprised they didn't go straight into the Roche pit there, though, rather than try and chase for an extra kill.
They could just
I feel like they could have taken it so quickly. Just Orchiding creeps on Nature's Prophet to get it done quicker. He actually almost has a BKB.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is, we talked about them waiting for their item timings. I feel like this is going to be their timing when they get BKB on like on the 2 cores of the Monkey King and the Nature's Prophet. Obviously you don't really want one on the Medusa, but when you get those online, the damage coming out from EHOME's side is pretty lackluster. It's not a huge amount of physical damage, so much easier to take fights at that point.
Or he's just pushing top. He's about to take a tier 2 tower. They have to rotate on EHOME if they're, you know, not willing to give it up. But, again, going to try and defend it might even be worse.
And the thing is as well, like, this Deuce's hit level 15 now. So, like you talked about that amazing talent from last game, we're going to see it again.
That's absolutely, lucky them. It's disgusting. It really is quite the disgusting talent. Balanced Strike comes through. Will Primal Spring onto Zhao 8, who's just able to get away with the Swashbuckle. But now Ori's pressuring mid. So while they pressure top, Ori's coming in mid.
They're really just trying to split the map up on EHOME as much as they can, though. But when you're playing against Nature's Prophet, it's so difficult. Like, he can do this where he just sits in a lane and can commit to fights when they break out, like you see here in the mid lane. He's more than happy to just TP in after shoving the lane out. And he's actually sending his trees to just snag the creep wave. If they do TP spot here, I'm going to be
I might just go
pure
for
bamboozle mode.
X pulling back into the torrent. But now Wukong's command comes out, Rolling Thunder trying to push him out of the Wukong circle. But Xiao Wei bounces off the wall, Balance Strike, they'll take out Innocence, they'll look for more. Yang, Xiao Wei swashbuckles, but they don't pressure onto the high ground, they don't just chase wildly.
Should that be allowed to be a thing? That you can put Frost Shield on the Rolling Thunder?
I think it's fair. Oh, Xiao Wei still trying to put pressure on these heroes, but it's just poking and prodding to no return.
I am really surprised Deuces didn't TP bot, though. There was like 3 waves of farm that nobody took there. But I guess he just wants to carry on playing around this top side, around the Ancients, and around the Roche pit, so... It's interesting they've made that conscious decision that Yang should be constantly, you know, the only person playing this bot lane, it feels like. Until they want to take the tower, at least.
He's going into a Hex. He's got so much farm. Top of the net worth.
He is having a pretty good time. This is without a Midas as well on the Nature's Prophet, like, which is sometimes the reason we see it at the top of the net worth chart. He's been super active. He's taken part in 11 of the 18 kills. So
10-3-1. Soon to have a Hex.
I mean, the Venge's taken part in 14 of the 18 kills, which is even more impressive. Like, Nature's Prophet has a global TP, so you kind of expect it a little bit, but...
He's been all over, and he's been farming so efficiently. Vlads will come out for the Venge. Again, just being the shadow of Ori.
I really like the skill build as well. I know it's only something little, but he went 3-1-1 at the start of the game on the Venge to make sure that they had the kill potential with the extra nuke damage. But then he just never put the 4th point in stun because there was no need. Like, you just want to, at that point in the game, you really want to max out your other 2 skills to, you know, amp up the damage from your Deucer. So. And look how quickly they take this Roche with the Vlads especially.
This is really disgusting. They took it so quick, and there's just no answer from EHOME. And Ori's got the Aegis. And now it comes down to how willing are EHOME, like, how far are they willing to go? How far
It's not
from the
even
base?
just that they have the Aegis, but they have the 2 core, they have the 2 BKBs on their cores as well, so this is like a huge major power spike for Vici at the moment, and I'd be very surprised if they didn't try to at least threaten high ground with this Aegis.
Look at Yang just moving around through the Orchid, I believe, onto this Ember, but Ember stays. Searing Chain stopping the TP. That was a TP going to attack Jingyu over bottom. Well. Jingu won't pop, but they've got Innocence nearby trying to save him. 4-staff out of the trees. DY, he'll give chase. He knows how safe he really is. And this will turn into a tier 2 bottom in the last outer tower for EHOME gone.
I honestly think they can threaten high ground here as well. Like, they have their dual BKBs and an Aegis. We saw how well they pushed high ground last game. Like, they've got every single item that they need at this point in the game. They're not waiting on anything at any time soon. It is difficult to push into this, like, the Frost Shield, but you can just, you know, slowly chip away. Oh, the salves! Yang, what a player. He TP'd back to base to pick up salves to bring them back to the fight.
Take the tier 3. Rolling Thunder comes out. We'll see what they're able to get on Ori. The Chain Frost bouncing around. Rolling Thunder continuing to pop up Paparazzi as well as Ori, but they get the kill on end. Nowhere for him to go. Now they look over at Xiao Wei. The swap comes through onto Jingyu. BKB will be popping. He's taking so much damage. He has to 4-staff away the BKB from Yang. And they're just pushing back these heroes from EHOME. The swap back in. BKB popped by Ferrari. But again, It's just super
They
defensive.
still have Aegis. The Aegis wasn't even taken.
They barely did damage to Vici. X marks the spot. Torin comes out, doesn't pull him back. Now the Astro Imprisonment. They got themselves the bottom set of racks. And EHOME just searching for answers.
The OG and the Kunkka had BKB in that fight, but they had to use them so defensively. And Paparazzi held onto his for so long that it just allows him to be so aggressive in the base like that.
We take another tier 3. This is... Seriously, I don't know what EHOME are going to be able to do. X into the Torrent, but what is this achieving?
The thing is as well, like, this Dusa shouldn't be afraid of anything, because she has this Venge Abaddon dual support duo that we talked about. They have so much save potential. Like, she can afford to play so aggressively and just continue hitting buildings without really ever being under threat.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
16,000 net worth lead for Vici. We just watched EHOME struggle to think of a game plan there. How do we get in? How do we fight? What do we have to throw to get a victory in these exchanges? And again, now they're back to the high ground over mid. Yang TP's in. Swashbuckle over, but there's the Orchid. So Zhao 8 wants to be a little bit patient. The Chain Frost bouncing around. The Balance Strike hits onto this OD. And now they'll pop the BKB on Yang. Rolling Thunder comes over, and that will hit on Ori. Astro Imprisonment keeping the Medusa a little bit isolated, but again, it's not really doing anything. Ferrari's popped the BKB, the Sinister Gaze wears out, the swap comes through, they'll get the kill on Innocence, they'll look for Ferrari, the buyback comes up from the Lich, and just the Jingu procced so much damage onto the OD, Zhao 8 forced to walk away, and they cannot take anybody out on the side of Vici.
They can't deal with this Duster. She's just sitting in the front line with Aegis, with this Abaddon just constantly healing her up. And she's throwing up Mystic Snakes to gain mana back. There's never any threat on her.
With that talent, I mean, the heroes on EHOME are sitting a little bit low on mana at times, unable to do things. Balance Strike lands on 3, coming from the side will be End. Sleight of Fist Searing Chains. Fade getting low, as is DY, but again, Ori still able to survive. Swashbuckle comes in, he's disarmed, but it's just slowing down the inevitable that you are going to lose this tier 3 tower top. Creeps are barreling into the base, too.
Oh, what a Hex combo.
Hex comes out. Ferrari in trouble. There's the Stone Gaze. Into Stone will be Zhao 8. Now they look over at Ferrari into the Sprout, but getting away, at least for a moment.
Aegis is about to run out in 5 seconds, so they might be able to make a play on this Dusa.
And BKB popped. Ori backing up. And he'll get the regen.
Yeah, that's really well understood by Ori that he knew the Aegis was running out there, so just backed off for a second.
That's Mega Creeps, and the poke comes in, but he turns into a Banana Peel. BKB, Sanity's Eclipse, that doesn't really do much. Xingqiu now needs to think of another game plan. Yang comes in, they're dominating now, as 2 heroes are dead on the side of EHOME, the Primal Spring, but they're all the way back in their base. The BKB will be popped by Ferrari, they've also called GG, and Vici will go into the lower bracket finals, as EHOME are eliminated.
The laning stage for EHOME went so badly that I think they couldn't... The only time they ever looked like doing well this game was that mid-fight where it felt like Vici made a little bit of a misplay, but the laning stage went so badly for them, it was really difficult to ever recover, because if the laning stage goes badly for them, they can't ever really pressure the Medusa this game, so she basically just starts farming faster than them, eventually comes online quicker than them, and it wasn't even like she was the only core doing well. Like, this Nature's Prophet and Monkey King, it's like we talked about, they get their BKBs and they just group up and go. Like, play around this Aegis timing. I thought, especially, I thought Fade had a really good game on this Venge, especially. But, I mean, the whole of Vici played really well here. It was just so strategic. Like, they got everything on the checklist one by one that they were looking for. It was, you know, very methodical.
Yeah, it was so well done, so well executed early. There was not really much in terms of answers from EHOME. I look at Dota Plus, the win percentage too, how quickly it just jumped up to almost 90% in their favor. And it felt that way the whole game. Wire to wire, net worth, XP lead, Vici 22-9. They barely died. You had Paparazzi, who went 5-1, Yang 12-3-3. They were so effective at just causing confusion from EHOME. EHOME were looking for lane matchups 6 minutes into the game. They were still moving around, and Vici took advantage.
I'm really surprised that they decided to send the Ember to the bot lane, though. I know they wanted to try and put this OD up against the Monkey King. I can respect that, but it was just because the Ember and the Kun could do so badly. But you need to give this Ember a game. Like, you need to make sure he has a good start, because he is the core that can play aggressively on the map and make plays. Like, they don't have good catch on Vici. So if Ember has a good start, he can, you know, at least try and take over the game almost by himself. Yeah, especially when that Nature's Prophet picked up the Hex at the end. There was a really nice swap Hex combo that I think just puts into perspective how well Vici playing as a unit, it feels like, at the moment. Like, everything's so planned out, everything's so methodical. They know exactly what they want to do, not just about the game overall, but in each individual fight. It feels like they've planned everything before it's even happened.
Yeah, and they play really well, and they'll actually be going on to go up against the Royal Academy team that 2-0'd Newbie.
Is that game finished already?
They 2-0'd too. Yeah, Royal won both games.
I mean, I thought that this series was quick. It started at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Royal Academy,
impressive.
since they've changed their roster, have looked very impressive. I'm really impressed. It's the DDC.
Yeah.
You know, you have them on your team, and you're gonna make it to TI.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good matchup. Obviously, everyone's going to be thinking Vici are the favourites coming into it, but anything can happen.
Royal's been showing up real well, so we'll see what they're able to do. It'll be Vici against Royal. We're your casters, BCOP and MoFarah. And we'll be back with the next series soon, and we'll figure out when that's going to be on. So stay right there. We'll be right back.